Most people consume content about growth and never actually grow. They read the posts, they watch the videos, they collect the motivation, and then go back to the same life. The same patterns, same excuses, same version of themselves. And this isn't it. The MindForge podcast exists for people who are serious about the mental work, the discipline, the identity, the hard internal stuff that nobody talks about honestly. And this podcast exists to go even deeper. Every episode, we take what's on the page and we crack it open. The stories behind it, the science underneath it, the application you can actually use. If you're looking for hype, you're in the wrong place. If you're looking to be challenged, to think harder, to leave every episode a little more clear on who you're becoming and what it's going to take, you're exactly where you need to be. I'm Caden Floyd. This is MindForge Podcast, brought to you by Warrior X Training. Let's get to work. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 10 of MindForge Podcast, brought to you by Warrior X. Now, today is going to be a little bit different because I came across something earlier today. I'm recording this on Friday. You will see it on or hear it on Sunday, so it'll be a few days old by the time you hear it. But this is going to be me, instead of writing out a full script like usual and really thinking out my ideas and reading my ideas, I've just really got a few points jotted down in a Word doc in front of me. So just bear with me because this one's going to sound more like I'm talking to you on the phone than reading you something that's well thought out. So honestly, this is basically just me breaking it down live as I just talk into the microphone and thinking out loud as I go. So today I want to talk to you about being tired. So let's get into it. Now, earlier today, I had Nick Bear's podcast on, and if you don't know who that is, he's the founder of BPN, Bear Performance Nutrition. He is a huge role model in my life, and he just gives so many good golden nuggets of information and direction. So he's awesome, so go check him out. But there's an episode that he just recently posted, and the title of it is Don't Feel Bad for Being Tired, Be Grateful. Now, I was not planning on this being today's topic. I was driving and listening to the episode, and by the time I got to the end of it, I was just like, wow, okay, I've got a lot to think about here. So I had a little time between my clients, and I ended up getting a coffee and doing some reflection on it. And what he talks about in the episode is about how exhaustion isn't always a signal that something is wrong. And there are different kinds of tired. And the tired that comes from a full demanding life is something worth being grateful for, not something to try to fix. And he breaks down a few types of tired, different types of being tired in that episode. I'm not going to pretend like I remember the exact categories word for word, but the framing alone was enough to make me stop and actually really think about which kind I've been living in recently. And that's what really hit for me, because I've been walking around lately just really assuming my own tired meant that I was failing at something. And there is a second episode that I want to refer to in this conversation that I'm having with you, because this one was just so good as well. But it was an interview that he did with one of his athletes. His first name is Bailey. He's from Australia. And they were talking about the sacrifices required to build something that actually lasts. I'm not going to get into Bailey's whole entire story, but the part that really stuck with me was this idea that consistency, not talent, not motivation, but consistency is the actual thing that separates people who build something real from people who don't. And that consistency has a cost. You don't get to build something meaningful and keep everything comfortable at the same time. So putting these two episodes together is honestly what got me really thinking about all of this today that I wanted to share with you, because one is telling us that tired isn't automatically bad, and the other one is telling us that building something real is going to cost you something, whether that's comfort, certainty, sleep, a paycheck. Put those together and you get a pretty honest picture, right? Which is, if you're building something real, you should expect to be tired. And that tired by itself doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. So here's what I mean for my own life right now. I'm a new business owner, a newer entrepreneur, and nobody really prepares you for what these types of seasons actually really feel like day to day. And I've got more going on than I really ever have had going on before in my life, like more ideas, more responsibility, more decisions, more thoughts, more hours where I'm just completely gone all day. And by the end of the day, I'm just so tired. And my first instinct every time is to ask, what am I doing wrong? Why am I so tired? Did I have a bad schedule laid out today? Was I not efficient enough? Was my time management not on point? Was I not using the right system? But honestly, that's really what I feel like the self-help world is kind of messing up. Like, if I'm going to talk honestly, like this idea that if your life is demanding you, you must be doing it wrong. And if you just optimized better, then it would feel easier. But both of these episodes made me really actually stop and question that assumption. Because I feel like the truth is that some tired is just the cost of being ambitious, but just having a full life of things that you care about. It's not a warning light, but more like a receipt. It means that you gave a full day to something that actually matters to you, and you paid the actual price for building it. The same way Bailey talks about it on the podcast. Now, a few things that I've been sitting with since listening to those episodes earlier today, and I want to think them through out loud with you. So, one is that I think a lot of us have never actually separated tired from effort and tired from chaos in your own head. They feel almost identical in the moment, and your body doesn't really hand you a label per se. Like, you have to actually stop and ask which one you're in, and I feel like most people never actually do, because stopping to ask feels like just one more thing that you have to get done on the list. The second idea is that I think the self-help industry profits off of us not knowing the difference. If tired always means that something's broken, then they can sell another program or another system or another pill to convince you that it's something that you need to fix, right? And nobody's incentivized to tell you that some of this is just what building something real in your life actually just feels like. And the third idea is that, I'm going to be honest, this one is still forming, so bear with me, but I think that gratitude might actually be the fastest way to tell the two apart. Because when I'm tired from real effort, even exhausted, there's some thread of gratitude underneath it. I'm tired, but I'm glad I did the work. But when I'm tired from chaos, from running around without direction, there's no gratitude in it at all. It's just depletion. And that might not hold up under more thinking, but it's where I'm at with that one today. So I'll leave you with this. If you're tired right now and chasing something that actually matters to you, sit with that for a second instead of just trying to fix the tiredness immediately. Ask yourself if there's gratitude underneath the exhaustion or just depletion, because I feel like that might tell you more than the tiredness itself ever really could. Now, I'm still in the thick of figuring all this out myself, building the business, being a new entrepreneur, and not even gonna lie, most days I don't have a system for any of this because I'm still in the beginning of forming the systems and the structure that works for me. I'm just living it, and I'm trying to actually pay attention and be aware while I do. That's why I wanted to record this one today instead of waiting, because I heard something that hit home, and instead of sitting on it, I just wanted to think through it out loud with you while it's still fresh in my mind, off a few points instead of a full thought-out script. I hope this shifted your perspective in some way or gave you some things to reflect on. And thank you for listening to me and being here. But that's it for today. Stay strong, stay in the forge, and I'll see you next week. That's a wrap on today's episode. If this hit home for you, go read the companion post over on the MindForge blog at warriorxtraining.com. That's where it all starts. Every episode lives inside one of those posts. So if you want the full picture, that's where you go. Follow the show, share it with someone who needs it, and I'll see you back here next week. I'm Caden Floyd. Stay in the forge.